Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Gonna have a big video this week for you guys. I'm expecting to get a lot done, a lot of progress at this truck coming back together. So probably just be this video, next video, and this thing will be heading out the door. At least that's my plan. So went and grabbed some parts this morning, got some fuel line stuff laying here to finish that up. Got more parts that come in, got wiring, got our harness back from Diesel Conversions. They sent me the right one, so got that we can put on. I got a bunch more parts over here. We can finish up our power wire stuff for the truck. I got turbo blankets and exhaust wrap, a painless harness, got lights. We got tons of stuff. So shouldn't have very many holdups and parts to get this thing back together. So I'm going to start with getting done what I need to get done on the frame so that I can get the cab back on this thing. So just running the stuff along the frame and down the sides and whatever I need to try to make it easier before I put the cab on and have less space. So let's get started on some of this stuff, get that stuff finished first, and we'll probably get the cab on it here for too long and hook up a bunch of stuff up front and just continue on getting this thing together. So let's get started. Exhaust work done and got the fuel system on. I wrap mine just like this just to help with heat on the floor and stuff. Probably don't have to, but I don't know, it's just my preference. And put a blanket over the turbo and wrap that little piece. So I just think anytime you can keep the heat down, what's against the the floor and the firewall stuff, it probably doesn't hurt. So exhaust stuff is done, everything's hooked up, and obviously I got to come off of this and do a wire or a T-pipe to be able to run both the stacks, but we'll get to that later once the cab's on. So I think now I'm going to get back into the battery box where I'd left off in the last video and go on ahead and get the power wires ran over to the starter and some grounds and just get the battery stuff hooked up. Also got this harness on too. Very, very clean. This is the only pigtail that's not hooked up yet. This goes to the chassis side harness, and this is the fuel pump signal to tell it to kick on. But everything else is all nice and plugged, and it just goes on there very nice, cleans everything up good. All the main power stuff's hooked up. I got one ground going up the engine, the other ground's going right down there, right below my finger on this frame piece. So should have plenty of ground, and the only thing positive is obviously coming up and over into the starter. I also went ahead and wired up the one-wire alternator. I just hooked it in here and ran it around the front, kind of like Dodge originally does. and down underneath and down to where the starter is as well. You can see the red right there is the other end of it. So all that's hooked up. I think everything's nice and tidy and neat. I can't stand wiring, it's everywhere, so I usually try to keep it all looking very nice. So trying to think what I'm gonna move on to next, but we're getting really close to that being on here. It's back on its frame. It's definitely black, that's for sure. It'll look good. We get some accents and stuff on it and things of that nature. I'm getting excited, getting closer. Well, another day out here in the shop. Me and Max are out here hanging out. Figured I'd keep him out of his cage today a little bit since I'm not doing much. He found something to chew on. Who knows? He's eating something. Gonna get back on the Todd's truck today. Try to get a bunch of this front end stuff put back in. Radiator, intercooler, pedal assembly, master cylinder. Just working on stuff under the hood and in the cab. That's the plan for today. Well, we got the pedal assembly in. I got the master cylinder stuff all mounted. I did go on and hook up some hoses and stuff, but so all the power steering and booster stuff is all hooked up, but I didn't get the brake line stuff done yet because there's a lot of stuff that I need still that I need to get, and there's about 4 or 5 different thread types and sizes for all the, yeah, it's a mess. So to get the actual brake lines hooked up is going to take a little bit longer, but I got that done. And while I was doing that, I went ahead and mounted this hot shot guy, which is it's just a secondary, it's a bypass filter, so it just pulls oil from the second passage on top of the oil filter, and the oil goes in and it goes through this filter that's in here, and then it comes back out and it actually goes back in through the cap. So I don't know how expensive they are. I'll do a little looking. I'll maybe put a link or something to Hot Shots for these, but they filter like extreme, I guess. It looks like a roll of toilet paper in there, to be honest. It's kind of funny, but so I got some other parts painted. I got the boost tubes painted and some other stuff that we're gonna do copper, and I painted the intercooler so that it's ready to go back in. So let's try to get the radiator intercooler and some of this stuff hooked back up, and call our quits with that for tonight. There it is. We got the radiator and intercooler in it. Got the pipes in and all that. Everything's hooked up. I think it turned out pretty good. I like the copper accents on the tubes. I think it just dresses up the engine bay just a little bit more. Not sure what we're going to do about the radiator. I mean, it's definitely not black or copper, so we'll have to see what Todd wants to do. But But yeah, pretty happy with all this stuff, and how the Hot Shots guy come out as well, the bypass filter. So everything's coming together nicely. Well, another morning out here in the shop. It's nice and cold today. It's like -5 or something crazy.
My tail's froze, and my nose is froze, and my ears are froze, and my toes are froze.
So at least it's warm in the shop. But today we're going to do a bunch of painting. The stacks and the tanks need reshot, and the bumper and the grill, and some more things that are going to go gloss black. So I got this stuff kind of set up. I'm going to drape some plastic over Todd's truck and over the Jack's Wax truck and just over a few things, but I'm not going to go full paint booth like we did for the truck and the frame. Just enough, because this stuff's not going to take that much, so I'm not too worried about a little bit overspray on stuff in the barn. So maybe an inflatable paint booth in the future. That would be awesome. But I'm kind of out of space. I need a bigger barn. I should have built a bigger barn when I had a chance, but hey, we'll work with what we got. I'm thankful for what I have. I got a warm place to work, and it's inside and covered, so feel very blessed to have that. So let's get the paint gun out and clean up this stuff a little better, get it scuffed, and lay some paint down. There it is. We got our paint laid down. Looks pretty good.
It's good.
I'm not much of a painter, and I'm sure some people are like, "You're an idiot with your painting," but that's all right. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll admit that. But hey, for some hillbilly in a shop with, just a cheap Harbor Freight paint gun, and I don't think they look bad. So let's let stuff dry, and it's a little fumey in here, so I think I'm gonna clear out for a little bit. Let all the fumes settle and let this stuff dry, and we'll come back later and work some more on the truck. We'll jump ahead a few hours, and I laid some more paint down and stuff. I figured you guys have watched me paint enough stuff. You don't need to watch me time lapse, do some more of that. But a few more coats on the stacks, and I got the tanks laid down and got the ends done, and all that should be good. So I'll take you over here and show you some other stuff I've done. I've also got these handles painted. This is all bracketry for the bumper. I got the cab lights tore apart, and I got them painted. I went on ahead and did the LEDs in them like I did mine, so those are ready to go back together once this stuff dries. Just a bunch of little stuff that I've got painted, trying to get ahead of the game on all this. I also got my brake line stuff figured out, so I got all the parts for that. Got all my parts to hook the rest of the fuel system up. So just a day of getting a lot more of the things together that I need to continue forward. So I probably won't put any of the stacks or tanks or anything on tonight. I hate to mess with the stuff and it be too wet still. I think I'll leave the heat on in the shop and just let everything bake overnight, and just hit it hard tomorrow and get a bunch more done. Well, another day out here in the shop. All our paint's dry. So today's big assembly day. Going to be putting the stacks on it, tanks on it, grill on it, bumper on it. Some of the other stuff I painted over here with the cab lights and some handles for the side and all kinds of stuff. I got all the brake line stuff to hook up, the rest of the fuel system stuff to hook up. So we're getting down to the final bits. It's just a bunch of wiring that's going to be left after that. So let's get all this plastic off of everything and see if we can get some painted parts on this thing today. really starting to come together. All that gloss black with the flat black, it's a good combination. You know, grilling the bumpers done, and got the stacks on too in one tank. I still have another tank to do, but there we go. We got stacks on it as well. Dad came and helped today. Say hi.
Hi.
So, but yeah, they're not plumbed up or anything yet, so don't, you know, get too aggravated with me. Yes, they need to be straightened and leveled and all that still, but they're on there. So we got one more tank to get set on, and then obviously that's the actual fuel tank, so I'll get it all plumbed up with the rest of the fuel system. But little by little, things coming together. Well, I'm back from lunch with Dad. We're going to try to get these stacks leveled up a little bit so that they're where they should be. Get the other tank on here and get that hooked up to the fuel system side. And I don't know, start some wiring, do some things of that nature. So we got the Max man out here. He's chewing on a box. You having fun? He's supervising, I guess. I don't know. Are you enjoying yourself? I guess. Hey! Hey, stop. Hey, you're in the way. Well, there it is. Both tanks are mounted. The stacks are trued up. Fuel system's all hooked up. All that stuff's good. I still need to run the power stuff from the fuel system over, but all the fuel line stuff's done. Yeah, it's really coming together. Let's push this thing outside and see what it looks like. My goodness. Looks like a completely different truck outside. It's definitely coming together. And yeah, it's Ohio, so it's snowing again, but whatever. So yeah, let's check this thing out. There's a lot more to go as far as there's copper headlight bezels, and there's turn signals that are painted black. And let me think what else we got for the front. There's the badges that have Lodestar 1700 in them that have some copper backline to them, and this one says International. So don't have those on yet, so that'll give it another bit of copper there. I like the copper accents with the fuel tank strap, the bottles and the fuel tank straps, and even the fueler neck. It just looks pretty nice. What do you guys think? Should we add some more somewhere? I know the deck plate's not on it, but that'll probably be the last thing to go in. Got all the lights and stuff still to put in. Basically all the wiring left to do. But what do you guys think? You like the murdered out Lodestar? It'll be the first one, I think. I don't think anybody else has done one yet. Wife just got home. Don't you like the snow?
No.
Why not? Can you say snow?
Why not?
Not a fan.
Not a fan of the snow?
Nope.
Well, it's only snowing a little bit. Like, here, let me try it. Is that better? Not really. Yeah, you must have brought the snow with you home from work. Is that what happened? Max is loving the snowflakes. Yeah, Max. Well, we got it back inside. Video's not quite over yet. I'm going to do a little bit more on this thing. I just want to get out there and get a thumbnail picture for you guys that you probably already seen, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to work on the brake line some. Going to work on the cab lights, getting them put back together. So something else I've done on my truck and I've done on this one is I tear these lenses apart and I actually relight them with LEDs. So that's my little secret, I guess, kind of. But if anybody has lights they want done, they got a Lodestar, you want me to put LEDs in them for you, and I'll just leave you pigtails for hot and ground. You know, look me up, I'll get you some lights done. I was actually filming, and when someone calls me, it stops the video. So you didn't see me finish them, but they're on there now. So got those done. Obviously, they got to be wired up still, but at least they're on the truck. So I'm going to finish up some brake line stuff. These two lines here actually come out of the master cylinder, and it goes through this proportioning valve. And then obviously I'm going to split off for the front brakes for go to each side. And these are all the new fittings that were these old nasty ones. So, and I got some line there and got my flaring tools and everything. So let's see if we can get this thing to have brakes. Well, I went on ahead and got the brake lines back into the master cylinder there. And I got to figure out where I'm going to mount this proportioning valve. But then I got to come off of those two ports and hit that T, and then got to get down to the frame right down there. That's where those hook back up. So got a little bit of work to do still, but the wife's home. She wants to hang out tonight, so we're gonna call her quits. So yeah, we are getting down to having a lot of the hard parts on, but I have this ball of wire here to still go. This is the rest of the standalone harness for the engine side, and then this is for the air dog system, and then this stuff here is for the grid heater. So I have that stuff, and then we have this painless harness here that has all of our, you know, turn signals, running lights, hazards, all that. So this whole ball has to go in there still too.
Julian, help me! I'm all tangled up.
But so yeah, just a lot of wiring left to do. Shouldn't take extreme long, but I'm hoping to have it done next week. Probably try to start working on it this weekend. I'd like to hear it run this weekend. That's kind of my plan, but a day at a time, step at a time. But got a lot of progress this week. Truck's coming along nicely, and I hope next week's video it will be driving and moving and have lights, and I'm really hoping he can take it home next week. So that's the plan. We'll see. So, but that's gonna do it for this video. So appreciate you guys watching. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.